Hey, what's up all you YouTubers out there? Welcome back to the channel. It's Mod Monday today, and in front of you I have a box from Archive Garage, and it's going to be the hammer hanger. So we're going to take a look at what's going on in this box. I have already opened it a little bit, and here it comes with the instructions. So far it looks pretty thorough. I didn't find any pictures, kind of a visual learner, but there's a couple YouTube videos out there you can search for. I'm gonna be doing one for this install. So let's just kind of dive in and see what we have here. And last but not least, it's going to be the second hanger. So once we get this all unwrapped, I'll show you guys what it looks like, but we're pretty much gonna just dive right into this thing. Okay guys, so we're back. I unwrapped all of our parts here. We have the two hangers, the two shackles, and then we have all the hardware, nuts, bolts, washers for everything, it looks like. I have to hand it to the Archive Garage guys that package this thing up, because it did take a while to unwrap all the plastic. It was very well packaged. The powder coat looks great. Nothing was hitting or bending or rubbing on each other. But these things are pretty heavy. They are going to be super beefy. I'd say they probably weigh at least 8 pounds or so each. So that's yeah, these are pretty beefy. So we're going to go through the install here, you know, step by step on the truck, and we're going to see how far we get with this. Safety first, make sure you always crack a cold one before you start any Mod Mondays. Cheers to you guys out there. And then, you know, I did mention earlier that there was no pictures. Actually, there is pictures on the second page of the installation instructions here. But you know what I didn't see? Oh yeah, right here. Tools: tall, short jack stands, which we have, floor jack, right angle grinder, a good drill, and 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch drill bits, a hammer, 3/8 or 10 millimeter punch, safety glasses, torque wrench up to 100 foot-pounds. I think other than the punch, we should have everything that we need. We'll see if there's anything not on the list that we will end up having to use. But so step one, block the front wheels, raise the rear tires 4 inches off the ground with tall stands supporting the frame. That's what we're going to do. Number two, raise the rear axle pumpkin slightly with floor jack. Place the jack stands under the axle housing. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the tires on the axle or if I'm going to take the tires off. If I take the tires off, I'm going to have more room for the axle to droop. So we'll see what happens. And step three, it is best to install longer brake hoses first. We're not doing that. We don't have extended brake lines. Remove the spare tire. Okay. Raising the bed or removing high clearance bumpers helps remove rivets. Not difficult. See YouTube. Alright guys, I don't know if you knew this, but in all of your Toyota Tacomas, they come with a tool to lower your spare tire. I've never used this. I've only seen something like this used in the wild once. I have dropped the spare tire just to check it out, to try to fit a full-size spare in there, which didn't work. Yeah, so we're going to drop the spare tire now. Step three, check. Okay guys, step four, to remove the original shackle bolts, 19 millimeter bolt, 19 millimeter nut. So we're going to use an impact and a wrench. All right, so let's figure this out. All right, step five, remove hanger rivets. Grind heads down flush to hangers to save drill time. Center punch rivets and drill 1/4 inch pilot most of the way through. The lower holes have washers welded to the cross member and should be drilled at a 1/2 inch diameter. Clean through the welded washers so they do not distort and can be retained. Wait till step 7 to paint the frame. Alright, this is probably going to be the toughest part of the whole install here. I'm going to show you everything that I did. So that's the old hanger, okay, and I just started drilling out this rivet. The bottom one right here, let me see if I can turn this light. This bottom one, I used a hammer, it pushed through the frame, but it stuck on the cross member. As you can see, this one I still need to grind down some more. This one is flush, but I had to freaking disconnect my exhaust, my mufflers on the floor, because this was kind of hanging up and I couldn't get to this rivet. So it's still a process. I'm gonna get a flap wheel and kind of clean all this up, you know, get rid of the surface rust. I do have some paint. I'm gonna, you know, spray paint it black, which is a couple steps away, but I still need to get this rivet out, the rivet out from the stupid cross member that's on the other side of the frame. This one, we're gonna do a lot of drilling here. So be patient. All right, guys. We just finished drilling the 4 rivets out of the frame on the passenger side. It's about 7 o'clock. This definitely is probably the most time consuming and biggest pain in the butt of the whole install so far. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Drill this out, drill that out, the bottom one here and the bottom one here. The reason why it takes so long for the bottom is because on the top of the frame, I'm sorry, the top of the cross member, there's like a weld-on washer you got to drill through. These ones aren't so bad. This one got a little bit wobbly, whatever. I'm gonna go through this, go over this with a flap disc just to get the surface rust off, get everything all evened up. I got a little bit of a gouge here from the air chisel. So we're gonna flatten that out, clean this all up, get the surface rust off. I'm gonna spray paint it tomorrow, and then I'm gonna do the driver's side hanger. I'm gonna get that all figured out, and then we'll continue the install here. Welcome back, guys. Day 2 of the hammer hanger install. It is morning time. It's almost going to be 9. We're going to get this all done today. And where we left off last night, we were removing hanger rivets, grinding and drilling. It's like the worst part. I still have one more hanger to go. That's drilled out. That's drilled out. I gotta drill out this one to a 1/2 inch. It's only drilled out to a 1/4 inch, and then the this one right here, that one's drilled out I think to 1/2 inch. So the biggest pain in the butt. So let's finish this up today. We are gonna be on number 6 and skipping 7 because the frame is already painted, skipping 8 because we're not doing a cross tube installation, and then number 9 will be to torque the bolts. So we're gonna put the shackle, no, we're gonna put the we're gonna put the hanger in. We're gonna put the hanger in. One thing I wanted to make note is that once this hanger is in on the frame, you're gonna see a little arrow right here. There's an arrow right next to my thumb, and that'll point towards the front of the truck. So you want to have this pointed towards the front, and then also the opening for the shackle is going to be pointed towards the front of the truck. All right, so we have the hanger test fitted here on the frame. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put
thread lock, Loctite on these bolts on the back side of the frame. That way these are going to be they're going to be tight, and you know, they're not going to be getting loose or anything like that off-roading. Okay, so you have the bolt and a washer on each side, on each corner, and on the back side you're going to have a washer and a nut. I'm going to put Loctite, and then we're going to torque it down. We are going to be on step 9. We're going to torque the 1/2-inch grade 8 frame bolts and lock nuts to 80 foot-pounds. It says use anti-seize, but we're going to be using blue Loctite. These are 3/4 inch sockets, so plan accordingly with whatever tools you're going to be using. In this case, I have a wrench and an impact, so I might have to put an extension on here actually. Let's see here. All right, bolts are in. They're tight with the impact, but we gotta go through the torque wrench, 80 foot-pounds. All right, this is not gonna fit because there's not enough clearance on the top of this bolt underneath this bolt, so that sucks. What are we gonna do? Hey, welcome back, guys. So here's an update. We have both hangers installed, both passenger and the driver's side hanger. I don't know if you can see that over there. They're both installed. The bolts are torqued to 80 foot-pounds with the torque wrench. And then, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna install the shackles to the leaf springs. We're gonna kind of skip around on some of these instructions because number 10 says discard OEM shackle bolts, use only new supplied M14 bolts in the hanger, which are these ones, and they're gonna go in here. I'll have to figure out the orientation in a minute, but like I said, we're gonna skip around. So it says the supplied M14 shackle bolts should be inserted through upper shackle hole, rear leaf spring eye from inboard with pointing out, or threads nut may scrape the hanger tube. Okay, so there's a picture here, and it does show the nut on the outside of the shackle and hanger, but also it says number 11, 12 we're skipping because we're not using all-pro springs. Number 13, if using archive shackles, apply grease to zerk fittings until grease comes out, and of bushings. Grease the face of poly bushings. Grease bushings twice your minimum. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna grease this. So I have some super lube synthetic grease, and that's also what I have in the grease gun here for the zerk fitting. So I'm gonna grease the outside faces of these bushings before they go in the hangers, just a light coat, and then after everything is in the hangers, we're going to take off this cover, and we're going to grease the zerk fitting until the grease comes out of the bushing spacer there. So this is actually pretty cool. I like this little cover. Alright, so we'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, so we are still on step 12, 13. We're supposed to be assembling the shackles to the leaf springs and then the shackles to the hangers, and this is where we ran into a huge problem, more of a speed bump. So if you remember correctly, we had to remove the factory hanger before the shackle can be unbolted from the leaf spring. So you would think they would put that in the instructions to assemble the shackle to the leaf spring before you put the hanger onto the frame, because what you run into is clearance for this bolt. So to remedy that, what I had to do, unbolt the shock, take apart the leaf springs, and lower the axle as far as it could go in order to be able to pull this out, and then I can put the bolt in. So it has to go outboard. It can't go inboard because the end of this bolt will hit this. So just FYI. All right, so we got the hanger in, the shackles in, the leaf springs on the shackle. Both these bolts are torqued to 89 foot-pounds, this one and this one. So this one, sorry for the light, this bolt gets bolted inboard. This bolt up here on the leaf spring gets bolted outward so that the nut doesn't rub against the inside of the hanger as it's rotating through travel. So we're gonna go and install the other side. All right guys, so we buttoned everything up. Both sides are on. This is the driver's side. Everything's bolted up, torqued. I actually didn't have to remove the shock on this side, just I loosened up the U-bolts, and then I was able to bend the leaf spring outboard enough to fit this bolt through. So just make a note of that. But these things look pretty good. I'll show you the other side. Getting ready to put the tires back on. So I was a little worried about this side to see if I was going to have enough clearance right here between the leaf spring and my exhaust tailpipe. I'm not sure how much this is going to droop down, so only time will tell, but right now, about ride height, I guess it's going to be pretty good. Looks like I'll be okay for now, but I will have to update you guys in the future. But I mean, I kind of wanted to reroute or redo this exhaust because this tailpipe is huge, and I've gotten a bunch of dings and stuff from rocks off-roading, so I'd like to just cut it off at the muffler, get a whole new muffler altogether, and have it dump out underneath the cab, or underneath the bed of the truck. So we'll see. All right, I'm gonna put the tires back on now.